Your idols are not sitting quietly on a shelf. Right now, while you sleep, or while you scroll, or while you sit in a meeting thinking about something else, the thing you worship is doing something back to you, slowly and quietly, to your fears, your relationships, the way you see the world. Last time we looked at what we do to our idols. Today, the harder question, what they do to us. And the ancient writers saw it coming 3,000 years ago. This is Come Follow Me, and the change clock just marks where we are in the journey. We're at 540, the third and final step in a stretch on idolatry, the root underneath every other struggle we've named. If you're new, you can follow this on your own. If you've walked the clock with us, you already know this is the heavy part. Stay with me to the end, because the whole road is about to turn. We named the idols. We saw what we do to them. Today, the last question, what they do to us. And it ends on the most unsettling verse in the Bible about getting exactly what you asked for. In Psalm 115, there's a poem that reads almost like a dark comedy. The writer looks at the gods of the nations, silver and gold made by human hands. He says, "They have mouths, but do not speak, eyes, but do not see, ears, but do not hear." He's mocking them. These are the gods people trust their lives to, and they can't even breathe. And then he says the most chilling line in the whole poem, "Those who make them become like them." Psalm 115, verse 8. Read that again. You become what you worship. The worship runs both ways. You shape the idol with your own hands, and then, just as surely, it begins to reshape you in its image. Watch how it works. Make money the center of your life, and money slowly becomes the lens you see everything through. Every relationship turns into a transaction. Your generosity shrinks. Your suspicion grows. Make your appearance the center, and every mirror becomes a verdict, every room a courtroom, every compliment a fix that wears off by morning. Make other people's approval the center, and you slowly grow shapeless. You're a different person in every room because the idol has no voice of its own, and in the end, neither do you. None of this is a choice you make on purpose. It happens the way water shapes a stone, quietly, slowly, until one day, the shape is simply who you are. You become what you worship. That isn't poetry, it's a diagnosis. Now the part the ancient writers were most blunt about. In 1 Corinthians 8:4, Paul says an idol has no real existence. But 2 chapters on, he turns sharply. What pagan sacrifice, he says, they offer to demons. 1 Corinthians 10:20. The object is nothing. The worship is not. Behind the carved thing, the ancient writers believed, stands a real spiritual power with an agenda toward you. And that agenda is never neutral or harmless. Worshipping alongside demons, the writers warned, will not leave us unharmed. And this is what it does to you. It breeds fear. The very thing you built to feel safe becomes the thing you're most afraid to lose. Somewhere inside, you already know the job won't last, the body will change, the number in the account can vanish overnight. So the idol you reached for to quiet your fear becomes the loudest source of it. Fear of missing out, fear of failing, fear of being left, fear of losing control. Different masks, one root. A treasure you can't keep and can't stop clutching. What does yours whisper to you at 2 a.m? And idols don't stop at individuals. When millions bow to the same thing, it becomes what scholars call a corporate idol, and it shapes the whole society. The ancient Canaanites had Moloch, a god that demanded children in the fire, and an entire culture arranged itself around that horror for generations. We hear that and recoil. We would never. And yet, we tell ourselves we're far past all that, but are we? One industry runs on the worship of sex and has quietly rewired a whole generation in how it understands intimacy. Another runs on money and image and has convinced entire societies that your worth is whatever you own. A third runs on beauty, the filters, the ads, the impossible bodies, manufacturing shame at industrial scale. Millions are in real chains today, and the pattern hasn't changed in 3,000 years. Only the idols have new names and better marketing. There's one more turn here, and it's harder to see. Idolatry doesn't only wound the worshiper, it crushes the one being worshipped. Think of the father in Jesus' story of the prodigal son in Luke 15. Generous, loving, always watching the road. Now, imagine his entire world was his children. When a parent worships a child, that child's every choice runs the parent's emotions. The child's success becomes the parent's worth. The child's failure, the parent's catastrophe. And for the one up on the pedestal, the weight is unbearable. Being idolized is not a compliment. It's a burden no one ever agreed to carry. We can't turn the people we love into gods without slowly harming them and ourselves. And the most haunting thing in this whole session comes from Psalm 106. Israel in the desert craved something. They demanded it, wouldn't stop. So God gave them exactly what they asked for. And then this line, He gave them what they asked, but sent a wasting disease among them. Say that out loud. A wasting disease carried in by the very thing they begged for. It's the verse you don't often hear quoted on a Sunday. They prayed, heaven said yes, and the yes is what hollowed them out. That's what an idol always does in the end. Not because it's too weak, but because it was never built to carry an infinite need. You were made for something without limits, and no finite thing, however good, can fill that space. Maybe you felt it. The promotion that thrilled you for a month. The thing you saved for years for that felt ordinary within a week. That ache isn't ingratitude, it's a soul telling the truth about what can't fill it. The idol satisfies for a season, then thinner, leaner, and you find yourself needing more of the very thing that was supposed to be enough. We've been at 5 o'clock for 3 sessions now, and I won't pretend it's been light. 3 sessions, 1 route. The longest, darkest stretch on the whole clock. We named the idols, saw what we do to them, and today what they do to us. The fear, the shape-shifting, the hollow feeling after you finally get the thing. If you saw yourself in any of it, good. You can't walk out of a room you refuse to look at. And we have been looking. And if it's felt like too much to carry, hold on to that feeling. It may be the most honest thing you've felt all session, and it's about to matter. In Pilgrim's Progress, John Bunyan wrote about a man who left the city of destruction carrying a burden he could not pry off his own back. He didn't set it down by trying harder. He kept walking toward the one place it could finally be lifted. The diagnosis was never meant to be the end. It is the door. You will always become like the thing you worship, which is the best news you could possibly hear if you are finally ready to change what that thing is. Next, at 6 o'clock, the whole story turns, not because the problem shrinks, but because something arrives that is bigger than the problem, something that does what willpower never could. This is episode 9 of Come Follow Me, a series on why real change is so rare and why grace is the one thing the proud heart can neither earn nor live without. Come and follow.